welcome to What's Happening in the Mother Lode with Sarah.
And Sarah.
So we are back again.
We are.
And
yes.
It's the middle of August.
School has started for us.
School is starting.
And it's been a week. It really has been a week.
Yeah.
It's just nonstop, go.
Yeah, and that's what happens, right? When you have a family, it's like,
here we go.
Here we go.
So you got school shopping. It's all the prep work before, and then there's prep work after. Like, of course, you get more supply lists and getting back into the flow of it.
And everything having to get into the pattern again, and it's
never ends.
So for you families who your children aren't back in school, enjoy it for the next couple of weeks. So
it is nice having that schedule, though.
It is.
It's one of those things where it's nice to go into summer break, but definitely by the end of it, you're like, okay. Even that my kids feel it, they're like, okay, we are definitely ready for school.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Seeing their friends, and that schedule is nice, and everybody has bedtime. All that fun stuff.
Everybody's back in where they're supposed to be. So, so we wanted to actually touch on something we've talked about before. We're going back to telling you a little bit about the history and kind of fun things to do before we actually get into the events. And we wanted to talk about the museums we have.
Yeah, because we have so many wonderful museums that are kind of hidden away sometimes.
We have more than you would imagine in a rural area, and they touch on a lot more than just Gold Rush history. Although a lot of them do touch on Gold Rush history.
Yeah, because most of our history is made up of that.
Is made up of that. But we just wanted to kind of give you kind of a little bit of a highlight of where you can go in the next couple of weeks and afterwards, after school starts for everyone. So we thought we'd start actually in Tuolumne County. And in Sonora, two of the main museums are actually in Sonora. The third actually is at the Living Museum of Columbia State Park. But the Tuolumne County Museum and History Center is actually on a very quiet street just off of Washington Street near the courthouse, if you know where the courthouse is down in Sonora. And there are so many cool items in this particular museum. The building itself is actually, part of it was the first jail.
Oh, that's cool.
Sonora Jail, and that dates back to 1857. And during those times, the sheriff and his family would typically live in another part of the jail from where the inmates were actually kept. So
that must be a little awkward.
Yeah.
What's the banging? Oh, we got a drunk guy in there tonight sleeping it off. Oh, okay.
Exactly. We'll just ignore that. Ignore that. So, but they have like exhibits devoted to African Americans in the Gold Rush. It's divided up into the 6 geographical regions, including Sonora, Tuolumne County, Columbia, and Jamestown, among others. And they have a huge collection of pioneer guns.
Oh, that's fun.
Which is kind of interesting. So,
and that's the history of guns itself is fascinating.
In our area is well, everywhere, but especially on our area. I have not seen a larger collection except for the museum over in Carson City, which is the Nevada State Historical Society's museum. So they have an amazing collection of artifacts and guns and that type of thing. Plus they have all the stories that go along with everything. So what's always interesting about museums is that they all have people stories.
They do, yes. And the tour guides are like, you can do self-guided tours. A lot of them are self-guided tours, and a lot of them, the photos and the displays are labeled, so you can understand and learn. Yeah. But when you do a guided tour with someone who has so much knowledge and a passion for it, it changes
totally different. Yeah, for sure.
I highly recommend if you can do it with a tour guide.
Yeah, absolutely. And so one of the others in Sonora is actually the Veterans Military Museum. And if you've ever driven down Washington Street in Sonora and you see these very large guns, that's where this particular museum is. And it is so cool because they have artifacts from like the Spanish-American War,
Oh, wow.
all the way up to
Oh,
now.
that's cool.
And it's individuals who have donated their loved ones. Antiques. They're I'm thinking uniforms, letters, photographs.
Wow.
They try to have a photograph with every single display, so you
that's
can
cool.
actually visualize the person who served. And so it is a really a
That's
cool
really
museum.
neat.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't forget to actually go to that one. And there's other ones as well. There's Tuolumne City, and Groveland has a Yosemite Gateway Museum. So there's a lot of little museums
There
as
are.
well that you don't even really think about. And of course, like I mentioned before, there is Columbia.
Oh yeah, which is a museum all of its own.
Which is a living museum, you know. So, and again, you know, take a tour.
Yeah, yep. And or go on one of the days when the reenactments are happening.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a whole experience right there.
It's very cool, very cool. And then over, coming over into Calaveras County, the Sierra Nevada Logging Museum in White Pines, not Arnold, White Pines, is a wonderful reminder of how big logging was in our area.
It still is.
It still is. And it was one of the main sources of income up here for years and years and years after the gold rush.
Which would make sense because, I mean, we have all of the just
trees.
mountains and trees. I mean, a lot of it's gotten burnt down and kind of
Yes, but there's
milled out a
still
little bit.
lot.
But it's back then, like, it was definitely a resource that needed.
Yes.
Especially with the building that was happening.
Yeah.
Coming this way, so yeah.
And they have a lot of amazing artifacts that
I
you
can
don't
imagine.
see anywhere else there. And they actually, someone built working models of like how a log goes from, you know, from the forest to
that's
becoming a
neat.
plank, really, essentially. And they're just amazing. And they have a wonderful outdoor area too, where they have a memorial to the fallen lumberjacks, because it is a very dangerous profession.
hugely.
It still is. And they have, I think it's a Shea engine they have out there, and it's right next to White Pines Lake, so you can't get a better location. It's just gorgeous. So if you want to get into a little bit cooler weather too,
Yes,
you may want to
because
go
the
up
heat
there and
streak is
visit.
coming up,
It's
too.
coming up, absolutely. And then coming down into Calaveras, we don't have a Murphy's Museum, sadly, any longer. But we do have in the Murphy's, there is a wall dedicated to the E. Clampus Vitus, who were a group of men who put memorials everywhere, but they kind of like to enjoy themselves a lot when they were having these celebrations. So they call it the E. Clampus Vitus Wall of Comparative Ovations.
Oh, nice.
So it's like historical people, and it gave them an excuse to come out and have a party.
Which works. It's always good. It's always fun.
And then, sounds like I'm just reading a list, but I kind of am, because there's so many.
There's a huge
so
amount, and to
many,
keep
yeah.
on track, you have to.
Yeah, absolutely. And then one of the larger museums, which you wouldn't think, is actually an Angels Camp, because you just see on Highway 49 the very front of it, which is, it's a white museum. They just opened up the frog jump exhibit there, which is amazing. But it's actually a over 3 acre parcel.
I didn't know that. That's
It goes
crazy.
right down the hill, and they have a tailing wheel down there, which we'll talk about in Amador County in a minute as well. They have them as well. And they have I think they have at least 3 buildings, maybe more, but one of them, they have like 28 or 30 old vehicles.
Oh, which would make
Including a
sense.
hearse and a
fun.
ambulance, yeah. I think there's a post office vehicle. There's all sorts of vehicles in there, and they're just beautiful. So,
That's awesome.
you know, and again, they have an exhibit that's dedicated to the Chinese in the area too, which is, I always love that when they bring in the different diverse nationalities that actually made up the gold rush, because there was a lot.
Yeah, a lot of that, I mean, over history has just kind of been drowned out and forgotten, and the fact that a lot of these museums still have artifacts and
Yes.
photos and these remembrance of the people who were here. It
Yes.
wasn't just a whole bunch of white people
No,
fighting,
it wasn't.
fighting
No.
for this land. There's a huge amount of diversity that happened back then, and
yeah, absolutely.
and it's nice to
finally
see it in light. Yeah,
yeah, reflected. And then in San Andreas, we actually have two museums in San Andreas. One is the museum complex, the Historical Society, Calaveras County Historical Society Museum Complex. They run both museums, but that one's actually just off of Highway 49 on Main Street. Nice. And that building is still owned by Calaveras County.
Oh, very cool.
And the old courthouse is actually an exhibit, and sometimes they still use that courthouse.
Oh, that's neat.
Which is kind of cool.
Which would make sense because when you needed extra rooms,
yep,
you got it.
You got it. It's right there. And then they also have the Red Barn Museum, which is really kind of focused towards agriculture in the county as well. So, yes, lots and lots of.
There's so many.
There's
so many. And then in Amador, you also have the Kennedy Gold Mine Tours, which is a museum in itself in the gold mine industry. And they have walking tours, and then they also have paranormal tours.
Yeah, ghost
they
to
have
ghosts.
a whole bunch of stuff that happens there. And then linked with the Kennedy Gold Mines is the Kennedy Tailing Wheel Park, which is, it's really neat. It's off of
it's one of the side roads.
It's Jackson Gate Road. Gate Road. So you go Jackson Gate Road. There's a little cute dog park, so you can bring your dogs, let them play.
Yeah.
And then you walk up, and the wheels are there, and they're huge.
They're massive.
And it's a beautiful walk, and then you can just do that on your own.
Yeah.
And then we have, I lost my little spot here. They also have the Amador County Museum, which is next to the elementary school in Jackson.
Yes.
Which is right off of, I believe it's called Court Street. And it's this beautiful red farmhouse, and it's really cool. Like, it's 3 stories tall, so they have the kitchen in the basement, and then you come, and then they have, like, every room still has some clothing from the time period, how school would have been set up. They have a train that you can go look out in the back.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And then they have, and if it's closed, you can just walk around it. And they have a lot of really neat things just to visit.
Yeah.
And then there's also the Night Foundry in Sutter Creek. And this is like a whole bunch of so it has like the cast iron foundries, the machine shop in Sutter Creek, and this is off of Main Street, so it's kind of like down a little bit. In this, like, I want to say workshop.
It is a work, yeah. They also have classes sometimes. And they do have days where there's docents, and they're actually showing you how they used to create these metal items.
Yeah, which is crazy because it's a little bit of a lost art, but it seems like it's coming back.
It is, yeah, I think so.
And it's off of Eureka Street in Sutter Creek.
Yes.
And then they also have the Amador County Model Railroad Museum, which is in Pine Grove. I haven't been to this one, but it's actually like the model...
like a model railroad.
Model railroad, which is fascinating.
It's very cool. And then I think in Sutter Creek they have the fire museum there as well. And that one actually talks about the fire departments essentially in the area.
And the history of that.
History of fire suppression.
Fascinating.
Absolutely. And they take you from the bucket brigades, which that's what they used to do. And if there were fires at the mines, they would just form a really long line, a bucket brigade from whatever water source they had, trying to get those fires put out.
Yeah, because they didn't have the technology or the equipment that we have nowadays, which we take for granted. But back then it was everybody
came out, the whole town, right, came out to help. So.
And then one that just opened up is the historical Sutter Creek Grammar School. It's a self-guided tour. And this one is, if you go in Sutter Creek, the elementary school is, I think it's on, I'm not exactly sure what the street is called, but it's right behind the elementary school. So if you go to the, like the operating one, and it's this beautiful 2-story white school.
Oh, wow.
And it's really fascinating. So they have self-guided tours. It's actually this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Wow.
So and they have displays in a museum room. They have hangings and school photos of it, and people who've attended. Yeah. Which is nice because some of these museums that are opening up are fairly new.
Yeah, they are.
And it's fascinating because it's all coming together.
Yes.
And then another one is the Chashi Store Museum tours in Fiddletown. And this one is really like stepping back in time. It's to celebrate the Chinese heritage.
Yes.
And and it's open between noon and 4 p.m. on Saturdays. So, yeah.
And then one more that steps back in time too to about that era is actually the Shenandoah. Let me get this right. The Shenandoah Valley Museum, which is actually located in the Shenandoah Valley at the Saubon Estate. So it's pretty far back in when you drive in. And the Saubon family actually bought that estate. They're a well-known and very well-regarded winemaking family in Amador County. And it used to be the home of the D'Agostini family vineyards. And they were one of the very first winemakers and vineyard growers in the area, the D'Agostini family.
Cool.
So that particular museum is really dedicated to the winemaking and vineyard growing and all sorts of
which is
those
another
types of things, which
huge
is very
thing of our
cool.
growth.
Oh yeah,
What
absolutely.
really makes the Mother Lode the Mother Lode. It's mining, wines, lumber.
Wine, women, and song.
Yeah, there you
go. Yeah, so if you get a chance, there's
and
of course there's Preston Castle. There's all sorts, and talk about the old schoolhouses, right? There's the schoolhouse in Angels Camp, and then obviously the one in Columbia. I do believe there's another one in Sonora, which I can't remember right now, but obviously the one in Sutter Creek you mentioned. There's just so many that you can go and see. So it's worth taking a look.
And it's pretty much, if you just go to any one of these small towns around here, you're going to find a museum on Main Street.
Yes, you will. You will. And you'll find out all sorts of interesting things you never knew.
Yep.
Yeah. So, you have your choice of museums.
Yes, you do.
And we have your choice of events to go to.
Which is, like we already talked about, we are in the middle of August, which is really crazy. It's going by this quick.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the week of August 12th through August 18th, Thursday. And it's pretty packed.
It is. It is. There are a lot of things. Of course, the farmers markets are all still happening. Angels Camp, Groveland, in Sonora, there's the farmers markets. Sutter Creek, Plymouth.
So everywhere.
Yeah, Murphy's, just pretty much everywhere. So the farmers markets are still going on. So
and they probably won't die down until probably the beginning of October.
Probably.
Or the end of October, once everything starts chilling off.
October, they start to fade away a little bit.
Yep.
So.
And then we do have quite a few plays.
And
they're fairly new.
Plays going on, yeah.
So Bryce Station Hilltop Theater is doing A Midsummer Night's Dream, which is a Shakespeare play, which you can't go wrong with a Shakespeare.
Nope.
This will be playing all the way up until August 20th, so you only have 2 more weekends really to catch this, and Summer Night's Dream is one of my favorites. So I highly recommend it. It's on Fridays from 7 to 9:30. And they are trying to see if there are tickets where to get it, but you can go to BryceStation.com and then take a look at that.
You should be able to hop over and find it from there.
I was going to say, it's really crazy when we're looking at these things because we have so much information popping up.
Yeah.
But sometimes finding the dates are a little bit hard. You're like, wait a minute, where did it go?
What's happening? What's happening? Yeah, then there's a lot.
There are a lot
going on. So, and then another play by Fourth Wall Entertainment, who we really love them here in San Andreas, is presenting Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw, otherwise known as My Fair Lady.
Which has a soft spot in my heart.
Yes, it inspired that film. And that will be going from August 12th to September 10th, Fridays and Saturdays at 7, Sunday matinees at 2. And adult admission is $15, children and seniors is $10. And you can call them at 754-5555, or just look up the Metropolitan Theater or Fourth Wall Entertainment Troupe, and you can find your tickets there.
Which, check that out. Musicals are always fun.
Yeah, they are.
Then at the Sierra Rep Theater, they are doing Shaboom, Life Could Be a Dream. And this will be playing all the way up until August 28th. So you still have the end of August to check it out.
Yeah, a little while.
And this is a jukebox musical. And if you want more information on it, you can go to sierrarep.org or give them a call at 209-532-3120. And that should be a fun play.
And then I think there is one more. Isn't there one more?
There is one more that just started at the, it is at the, where is my...
Well, I think we'll have to come back to that because... Did you find it?
I did find it.
Oh, here it is.
So it is... I was like, wait a minute.
We're a little slow on the uptake today, so bear with us, yeah.
It's on Main Street Theater Works in Amador, and it is 4 Weddings and an Elvis by Nancy Frick. And this will be going from August 12th, so opening weekend is this weekend, till September 10th. It is a romantic comedy, and it will be at the Kennedy Mine amphitheaters, and tickets open, gates open at 6:30 and shows at 8. And then you can get the tickets either at the gate or you can go to mstw.org. And it looks like a really, really fun show.
And there are a lot of musical events going on for the next week or so, actually. So over in Amador County, the historic Sutter Creek Ragtime Festival, which is a festival a lot of people really look forward to every single year. 23 years it's been going on. So 3-day event takes over Sutter Creek, and people absolutely love this festival. 4 to 5 locations, different stages, playing ragtime, and event passes are required, but which are $85, and that includes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you just want a Friday badge, it's $25. Saturday all event badge and concert is $45, and there's a lot of different.
You can get your selection.
You can get your. So if you're interested in going, make sure you look up the historic Sutter Creek Ragtime Festival. And like I said, I know people who look forward to this festival every single year.
Oh yeah, because it's amazing.
They love it. Yeah, yeah.
And then, of course, we have the Thank God It's Friday 2022 Summer Concert Series. And this week it's Forever Gold Rush, which is on Friday, August 19th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Volcano Theater Company. You want to bring your picnic chair and find a nice comfy spot and give a listen. And you can give them a call at 209-419-0744, the Volcano Theater Company, if you want to ask any questions or any concerns you have. So,
And there's still Calaveras County, their arts festival is our arts music in the parks is on Wednesday. So I'm hopping forward. I'm looking at two different screens, and there's a lot of music. There's a lot of music. So on Wednesday the 17th, they will be actually featuring the Blowbacks, and that will be Railroad Flat Community Park. And again, it's bring your own chair, bring your own picnic. It's free to the public, and just enjoy yourself.
which is always nice.
And there is a hat that they pass around, and you can go onto their website and donate, and you can over in Amador as well. So.
which is always good. And then the other one, if you do want to kick up your shoes and dance in the street, is Dancing in the Streets in Amador City. You can go to visitamodorcity.com or if you want more information. This week, August 13th, this is on Saturday, August 13th, the band is Never Too Late, and it goes from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Wow.
And it's nice and cool.
Yes.
And if Amador City, they really have a really cool setup with how they have it.
Yeah, they do. They really do. And then back over in Tuolumne County, Twain Hart's Concert in the Pines at Epperson Park is going to start at 6 p.m. on Saturday the 13th. Threshold will be playing. Again, it's another one of those free to the public. And I believe it's put on by the Twain Hart Chamber of Commerce up there. And again, go early.
Yep.
For that one, go early for sure and get your seat down, or else you might be way in the back. Yeah. So, and there's let me see if I can find it. I'm going to let you go to the next one, and then I'm going to tell you about a cool new business that just started in Twain Hart.
And so the Shane Dwight is the blues southern country rock is going to be at the Sutter Creek Theater Friday, August 12th from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And if you want more information, go to suttercreektheater.com. The doors open at 7:30. Show starts at 8 o'clock, and they have open seating, bar, and wine is available. And yeah, just come in and enjoy it.
So I am almost there. Oh, maybe not.
And then there was another one that, another music one that I found that needs to be, it might be already sold out.
Okay.
But let me see if I can find it again. Where'd it go?
Oh, I can hop in.
Yeah, you go hop.
Yeah, I found it. So there's this really cool new boba tea and bites in Twain Hart. Now, boba tea, if you haven't had it, you will love it.
It's amazing.
Try it. It's really, really good. So this new restaurant, local family, the Haps, boba tea and bites. It is in Twain Hart. They just opened up really recently. Boba tea, bubble waffles, and crepes. They serve as well.
Oh, my stomach's gonna start growling here in a minute, so heads up.
And yeah, the photos right here are making us both
wait, I should have ate lunch.
But people are just absolutely going crazy for this
I don't blame
place. So make sure you try it if you're up in Twain Hart and you go to Epperson Park. Stop here first, get a little sweet treat, and then go on over and enjoy the concert.
Which is fantastic. Like, it's one of those things, especially if you have your local spot.
Yes,
and then
exactly.
You're just gonna, it just makes it that much more fun.
Yeah, for sure.
So the band that I was like, okay, you guys probably, it might be already sold out. It is August 18th, so we are going ahead of time a little bit, but figured you might as well know about it. So if it isn't sold out, you can get tickets. It's Brad Paisley.
Sold out. I just found out. Yeah.
Well, if a ticket pops up,
maybe you can do some what is it?
Some bartering.
Some bartering. Something. If you really want to see Brad Paisley, yeah.
And this will be at the Ironstone Amphitheater in Murphys, California. So sorry if you don't have your tickets and you're like, why is all these people running up here?
Sorry, I should have told you before we start filming.
But heads up, Brad Paisley is coming to Ironstone.
Yeah. But even if you don't have a ticket, if you go into Murphy's on those weekends where the people are there, where the concerts are there, it is a totally different vibe and it's a lot of fun. So you can just go out and hang out. So. And then actually one of the cool events that hasn't been up here for quite a while is the Monster Truck Madness is coming at the Calaveras County Fairgrounds. So that is, I believe, Fridays, 12th and 13th, Friday and Saturday. Gates open at 4 p.m., show starts at 7, and it's just like the big monster trucks.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things are dangerously
interesting.
wicked. Like, you're sitting there going, it is one of those events that you just, I don't know, get your heart pounding, and it's fascinating to watch.
And you don't think you're going to react that way until you're actually there.
Especially if you have kids, it's a whole different ballgame.
Exactly. So it's only $20 for 11 and up.
That's not bad.
And 15 for our ages 3 to 10, and 2 and under are free.
Well, there you go. There's a little nice back to school weekend.
Yeah, and they said that there's a 10, and for an extra $10, you can ride in a monster truck.
See, that would be cool.
Which would be cool.
That would be really cool.
So don't miss that.
Nope.
Yeah, for sure.
So there is an actual local authors book talk in Groveland at the Groveland Library. And Marley Hewitt, Susie Williams, and Janet Gregory will all be there talking about their books.
Oh, cool.
And this will be from, where's my time? From 1:30 to 3:30, 1:30 to 3 o'clock on August 13th. So on Saturday.
Yep, Groveland's a really cute little town as well. They have a tea house up there, which I'm saying, and I can't remember the name now. Let me look it up. Tea House in Groveland. And they do have very authentic teas.
Nice.
And I'm not even seeing it. Anyway, when I find it, I will let you know.
Perfect. So, we'll take that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this will be with local authors, and they will have their books, so you can buy and purchase their books, and you can have them autographed, and they have a question and answer session. And then if you have any questions, if you're a writer yourself on how to create and go down that journey, you can find some answers and little tidbits.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So yeah.
So, and then also over there in Tuolumne County, they are having their second Saturday art night, which they have every second Saturday of the month. So it'll be this Saturday, August 13th, and it is from 5 to 8. It's free. And what it is the merchants in downtown Sonora, they open up their doors, and you just kind of wander in and
I love
out.
that.
There's music, there's art, and you can pick up a bite to eat. There's some really great little restaurants down there, so it's really fun.
You can't go wrong. The restaurants around it, we've talked about this many, many times, is we have so many talents that it's just off the chart. And one of them is our chefs that are around here.
Yeah, they're amazing.
It is, it's one of those things where you just, like, oh man, there's places in Amador City, there's places in Ione, there's places in Angels Camp, and you just find those little restaurants.
Yes, and some of them are world-renowned, believe it or not. You wouldn't think so, but when you go to make your reservation, you found out
real quickly.
Yeah, some of them, like taste. Yeah, for sure.
And then another big one that is coming up a little bit farther down the road, but again, it's next weekend, so it's not too far, is the Midsummer Fairy Tale, the Celtic Fair / Music Festival experience. It's at the Amador County Fairgrounds. This will go from August 20th to August 21st, so next weekend. And they will have a whole bunch of cool things happening. They're going to have a music lineup of the Lady of the Lake, Two Lions, Lions of North, a lot of Celtic bands. And then, so they have, kids are 5 and under are free. Kids 6 to 13 are a flat rate of $10, and adults 13 and older. They have the early bird special that starts at $15, and if you buy it at the gate, it goes to $25. But there is a slew of different prices that you can take a look at. And if you want more information on them, you could go to, I'm getting you the website right now. I had to click on it, and my computer's thinking. You can go to Eventbrite and look up Amador County Fairgrounds in Plymouth, California.
And there's just some really cool events happening up here in our area nowadays. One of the fun things that happens in the summer up here are the movies under the stars. So in Tuolumne County, this is going a little bit further, but just so you know, August 20th up in, actually this is Valley Springs, sorry. I was looking at one that was over in Tuolumne, so I'll have to find that one. But this one is at Vista Lago Drive in Valley Springs, outdoor family night. It will be Facing the Giants. Which is a really good movie, and the Barber's Chair is sponsoring the event, and they have free popcorn and soft drinks. So all you have to do is bring your lawn chairs and just enjoy a movie out under the stars.
See, that's a neat, and it changes the atmosphere. Even though you've seen a lot of these movies, because they are they're not brand new.
Yeah.
But you've seen them. But when you go to watch them, especially with a group setting or outside or both at the same time, it's a completely different movie.
Totally different. It's totally different. So
the experience really does change it.
It does. It does. And the other one is actually in Mary Leveroni Park in Groveland, which is Tuolumne County. And let me see, that will be actually August 19th, and that's the movie Tombstone.
Ooh, that's a fun one too.
Which is a really good one. So, but I do want to say October 21st, they're preparing for Halloween up there, and they will be showing The Haunted Mansion.
Ooh, that's a fun
up
one.
there, which is really
Eddie
fun.
Murphy.
Exactly. So they go all the way into October, so don't forget about them in Groveland.
And then if you are a gardener, you have the class put on by UCCE Master Gardeners of Amador County for getting started with California native plants. And that is happening this Saturday, August 13th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Amador County General Service and Administration Office off of Airport Road in Jackson. So if you're considering growing native plants, and to reduce water use and attract pollinators, this is the class for you, which should be a lot of fun, which is hard because you do go to like Lowe's and these big box stores, and you don't always know what is native around here.
No,
and
you're not quite sure what to do with it.
Exactly, and also to know what plants are drought resistant, and that changes a lot of things.
It does, especially up here, because you have to be really careful with the water.
Yeah, because otherwise you buy a plant and
it
doesn't survive very long.
It doesn't quite survive, yeah. I've had a couple of those happen. And sometimes if you overwater them, they're not going to survive.
Yep, I did that once to a snake plant. I thought it was, because the snake plant's actually part of the cacti family.
Yes, yeah.
And I didn't know that.
Okay.
I have learned, the wisest thing that I was ever told or learned was, if you're a gardener, expect to kill plants to learn how to keep plants alive. So I've done my plenty of things. But I waterlogged it. And it started to die because I was watering it like my other plants, and then I finally researched and found out why. And so now I only water it like once every 3 weeks.
So it survived?
And at once, yeah. So I completely stopped watering it for about a month.
Okay.
And then it's like 2 years into it now, but it's finally, you don't see any waterlog, the leaves that were
the burned, because they actually burned.
And it got sogged, like it swelled
does
up.
this weird thing.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's not
is
good.
bad.
But now, but it's weird because you have to have a schedule for each individual plant, which it's really complicated, especially if it's outside the house.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend this class if you are interested. And have any questions, ask a master gardener and not me, because I'll be like, let me look this up for you.
And you can always
kill
call
plants together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have actually killed cacti before, so we won't even go there. And you can just call the master gardeners too. Their telephone line to find out information as well. And they just are lovely people who really want to help you keep your plants alive.
And to teach you, and it's not just Amador. Master gardeners are all over.
Yeah, they are.
So it really just depends on where you live. You can find your local branch, and they'll help you out through anything. And
yeah, they will.
So
and be encouraging while they're at it, for sure. So I found these paint parties, which I think are really, really cool. They are actually in Calaveras and Tuolumne counties. There's 3 of them in August and September. One is actually Saturday, August 20th from 1 to 3 at Forest Meadows, up there at the clubhouse. And then and these are different scenes too. It's kind of interesting. With that one, you're painting the seasons. And the next one is actually at Indigene Reserve in Sonora, which they are very well known for their cider. And they're all native apples, like I want to say heirloom apples, but that's not quite the right term, but they're native. So you'll be painting El Capitan. That's on Sunday,
that's cool.
August 21st from 1 to 3. And then this one is a fun one. The game room is in Sonora, which apparently is with gaming. You are painting Mario and Yoshi from Mario Kart, it looks like. So that's Wednesday, September 14th from 6 to 8. And you can book your, let's see, Yeah, you can call 209-984-6077 to find out about any of these. Tickets are $50 for adults and $25 for kids, and art supplies and instruction are included. So if you've never been to a paint party, they're a lot of fun.
They are really, and it's nice
really
because you can go there without any art experience and just be like, I'm just going to do this. And you step out learning. Like every time you do one, you learn a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then you start building up on that craft because it's one of those ones.
It's fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and everybody's just enjoying themselves.
And even though you're painting the same painting, everybody's painting is so
different.
unique.
Yes, absolutely.
And it shows a lot of side of their characters and their personalities, and it's a blast.
For sure, for sure.
If you are looking to get out and about, the Amador Central Railroad Rail Car Ride, say that 5 times fast,
Yeah.
is happening this Saturday, August 13th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's $10 a person, so you get to go into a rail car.
Yep,
I'm going to be butcher that. And enjoy.
Scooby-Doo, here we go.
There we go. You get into a little car that goes on the railroads, and you enjoy a 6-mile round trip on a vintage cart.
Wow.
And it goes through the Amador rolling hills right now, which are golden and beautiful. And this goes all the way up until November. So it is... you have time to go. It's going to be at the Lane Station in Ione. There's no reservations are offered, so you just come in and get your ticket. And they have they leave at 10 a.m., 12 p.m., and 2 p.m. So you show up between those times. You get your tickets, and it's $10 per seat. And children must be 5 years or older to participate with this. So.
And this, this particular event or activity, I guess you would call it, is so unique. That I would recommend anybody doing it.
Oh, yeah.
And it just, the price point is low enough that, to just go out there. Because they didn't used to do this. They, for many years, they were trying to bring it into fruition.
Yep.
And you just don't see this type of activity very often at all. So.
And this is also every second Saturday of each month. So if you don't catch it this weekend, you'll have to catch it in 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, yeah. And then we're getting into spooky season.
Yay!
And let's see here. Columbia State Historic Park. They're having their Gold Rush Days August 13th from 1 to 4. And like we said at the beginning of the program, they are an amazing living history museum. And every time you go there, it's something new.
Yep.
You learn something new about how people lived and how, culture came to the Mother Lode, that type of thing. So if you have not gotten a chance to get out there, you might want to get out there and take a look.
And then going back to music, the Amador County Concert Band presents Summer Pop Concert. And that will be this Sunday, August 14th at 2:30 p.m. It's a free concert, and it will be presented by the 40-member Amador County Concert Band. So, which is really cool. And the program will be held at the Community Church of Pine Grove. So it's in Pine Grove. And it will feature music with a special melody of Frank Sinatra and West Side Story. And themes like old times, and a special flute duet with band and more. And so the doors open at 2:30, so arrive a few minutes early for best seating. Music begins promptly at 3 p.m., so don't be late to that.
Yeah, definitely. And then, let me see if I can get this email open. Hello? I had it open.
It's been one of those days.
It's been one of those days, it really has. So this is an event that is actually going to be taking place on Saturday, September 24th, but we want to let you know way ahead of time. It's the annual Walk for Hope at Big Trees State Park, Saturday, September 24th, and it is... it benefits the Sierra Hope organization that actually they provide a lot of support services for people who just need a little bit of a leg up and a little help in our communities. And they do an absolutely amazing job helping people with their HIV/AIDS issues, with living with HIV and AIDS, also providing homes and affordable living for people, and just really, and they have food pantries, and I mean, I just can't say enough great things about this particular organization. So this is an annual Walk for Hope, and it's actually to raise funds for their support in the area. And so those that raise $100 will get a commemorative t-shirt, and lunch will be provided if you participate. And so you just need to go to sierrahope.org to find out more about that particular event. And we'll talk about that more as we come along as well.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, such a great cause.
Oh, they are absolutely amazing. And then also another great group is Rotary. Mm-hmm. Angels Murphy's Rotary Shrimp Feed.
Oh no! Oh no! I'm there.
It's coming up on Saturday, August 20th. Again, this is a week out, but I wanted to let you know it goes from 4 to 9 p.m. It's $50 a person. Jill and the Giants is playing, and if you've never heard them, they are really fun. They're a fun band. And if you don't want to sit in Murphy's Park, like me, they will let you drive up and give you a meal.
Which is nice. Some days you want to be out and about with people, and then other times it's nice just to get someone else to cook your food. Yeah. And then you go home and you just relax. No cleanup, no prep. It's always nice.
Exactly. So you can just do a search online. It's angelsmurphysrotary.org, and they have a link on that site for tickets. And there's a silent auction as well. So there's really cool stuff for that as well.
Oh, I'm hungry now.
Yeah, I know.
If you have any children who are under school age, the Comanche and Upcountry School is doing a readiness program, a readiness program, and it's free for all children age 3 to 5. And it's to help children get ready for kindergarten. And it starts the week of August 15th, so Monday, August 15th, and it goes from 9 to 11 a.m. Every Wednesday at Comanche at the Comanche Lake Community Center, and every Thursday in Pine Grove at the Upcountry Community Center.
Awesome.
And the program follows the Amador County Unified School District calendar. And if you are interested in this, you can give the Youth and Family Services to a call to enroll your child, or just if you want more information, it's 209-257-1980, extension 111. And this is put on by First 5 Amador.
Okay, cool. So this caught my eye on Facebook, so I had to mention it. It is something that is going to be September 10th. And it's the Modesto Bacon Festival. Ooh! And I know how people love their bacon.
Everybody loves their bacon.
So that's why I thought, I'm just going to mention it. It's a little bit of a drive, obviously, out of our area, but it's bacon, beers, and more bacon. There's a piglet adventure park for the kids. Aww. I'm not quite sure how that you don't ask.
Yeah, as long as you don't ask questions, you're probably fine.
That's in downtown Modesto from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. And it's go to modestobaconfest.com to find out more.
Very cool.
Yeah, so everything bacon that day.
Oh, you would probably come home a little bit full.
Oh my gosh.
Just a little bit.
Just a tiny bit, for sure.
If you can tell, or can't tell, I have not eaten lunch yet, and all of this is getting me very hungry.
Yeah, so I think that was my last. That was my last event.
Yeah, I have no more either.
Event. So again, if you have something you want us to talk about and mention, make sure you let us know at calpeg7@gmail.com, or contact us on Facebook Messenger, Calaveras Community TV. And we did also want to mention there's still little kittens left.
I was just going to say it is kitten season, not just in Calaveras, but also in Amador and Tuolumne. They are all looking for homes.
Yes, absolutely. So Calaveras Animal Services here in Calaveras, and then I believe Amador Animal Services.
Yeah, I think, and every one of them is doing a deal right now. I think Calaveras is doing the buy two for one, the BOGO sale.
Yeah, that's the Humane Society. Yep, yeah.
And then I think Amador is doing, I think it's $20 to cover all of the cost.
Okay.
And then I'm not sure exactly what Tuolumne is doing, but it is definitely kitten season, and
Yes.
everybody is
There's a lot of
overloaded.
kittens. Yeah,
Yes.
there's a lot of kittens. And even if you're not a house cat person, you can have a barn cat,
Yes.
right?
And there's so
Essentially,
many
yeah.
barn cats too. They're and then you don't even if you're looking to bypass the kitten stage, they do
Yeah.
have cats that are mature. Either you can look at the barn cats, which are a little bit more wild, but again, if you have a barn or an area that needs rodent control,
Yes.
you can't beat a cat. And out of every kind of
Yeah, you can't.
You can't.
And there is a organization, I believe, they're just getting off the ground in Tuolumne County for barn cats.
which is amazing.
Yeah, so in the future, we'll get you more information on that. But if you want more information, actually, you can just email us and we'll try
Yeah.
to find you what you need.
Exactly.
And we'll go from there.
Yep.
Okay, so enjoy your week and we will see you again next week.
Yep. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.